Have you ever had a bad day that turned into a bad week, that turned into a bad month, that turned into a bad year or two? Have you ever had one of those times in your life where you just started and then it just kept kind of coming and coming and coming? We've all had things like that where we feel like we're stuck and there's just absolutely no way of getting out of the situation that we are in. Today, we talked about this a little bit last week. We're going to pick up the story. God's chosen people, this nation of Israel, the nation of Judah, His chosen people, they find themselves in this situation. They are in exile. They're inside of Babylon. They've been there for 70 years. Now, to give us a little context here as we start today, they're in Babylon. Now, when you think about Babylon, like most of us, when you think about, I don't know how you are, but when you think about like a biblical city, most of our understanding for what that looks like comes from Renaissance art from way in the past, or maybe it comes from, we had these little Bibles as children, like Precious Moments and stuff, and we saw these little pictures. And so typically when I picture like a biblical city, it's kind of like if you've ever been over to like Fort Pickens or Fort Benning. That's the way I picture them, like small, okay? Babylon was huge. Historians say Babylon was like the first megapolis. I guess that's the way you say it. It's the first big city ever in history, like huge, huge city. So some compare it to our modern day Chicago. Now that'll flip you out a little bit and change your thinking a little bit, all right? So one historian, the guy by the name of Herodotus, he said, now this is his take, this is history, this is what he wrote. He said that the walls were basically 60 miles around, so 15 by 15 by 15 by 15. That's how big it was. I did a little looking on Google. That's basically Hurlburt Field to Destin, Hurlburt Field up to the airport, and kind of like over to Blue Water Bay. Basically, that's the size that we're talking. Does that kind of blow your preconceived notions of what a biblical city looks like? Now, Herodotus, he also said that the walls were 80 feet thick. Thick. A cinder block is what, about a foot? Any builders in the room? A little less? It's 8 inches. Okay, so quick math, if they're 8 inches, that's like 10 thick. Okay? So, big. The stage up here is about 80. I don't know, but it's big. Okay, that's the thickness. Herodotus said that the height of these walls were 320 feet tall. That's really, really tall, okay? I think the Washington Monument's like 600 feet. It's really huge. Okay, now I want to tell you this. So archaeologists and other historians have said that Herodotus exaggerated these claims, okay? Because they have found in this city of Babylon, they have found some walls, they have found some stuff, and they're saying that it's been exaggerated. Now, some of these archaeologists, and I want to say this before I tell you these numbers. By the way, archaeology has shown one thing at one time, and this has happened through other stuff, and then later on they find more. So Herodotus claimed this stuff to be true. It could end up being true later on down the road, but for now, what we know for sure is it was at least 4 square miles. Now that basically is, let's just think about it, that's like Egan Parkway to Beale Parkway, kind of a racetrack. It's just kind of this little, it's still a big, big place. We do know this, that 80 foot wide, we don't know that to be true. They have not found any walls that were that wide. We do know this though, they raced chariots on top of these things. So imagine that. It's a normal day in Babylon and there's chariots racing around your walls of your city. It was wide enough to have chariot races on. So I'm painting this picture for you because I want you to know that this is the place, whether it was 15 by 15 or 2 by 2 or 4 by 4, it doesn't matter. It was a huge, huge place. The fact that Herodotus even wrote about it and exaggerated it mean it was an incredible, incredible place. It was the first megapolis. This is the place that they were in. And here's what I want you to hear. If you're inside of this place, you're not getting out. There were watchtowers too. It wasn't prison. It was nice in there. They had come in for 70 years. They built their lives inside of this place, and it was nice. It was a nice place to live in. But nobody's getting in, and nobody's getting out. This is a fort of all forts, okay? I want to show you a picture here, kind of give you a little bit of context. Is that working? Are we down? Go to the next slide there. The Ishtar Gate. This gate right here, this is in a museum in Germany right now. This is called the Ishtar Gate. There are actually parts of this. It's been reconstructed, but there are parts inside of this gate that are from the original, from Babylon. And so this is much like it would look. If any of y'all watched the Sight and Sound thing I sent out a few weeks ago with the Daniel production, they mimicked this on their live set. So that is the Ishtar Gate. You can see barely at the bottom a couple of people standing there. So that's not 320 feet tall, but that's tall, okay? This is the place, and by the way, this Ishtar Gate was not one of the external gates. They have found with archaeology that there were the big gate, the big wall, and then a secondary, and then they've even found a third one on the inside of that. This was a fortress, so this was one of the interior gates. This wasn't even the big one on the outside, okay? So that's where they found themselves to be. They found themselves with no way out, and nobody's getting in. Nobody's going to conquer that. We find ourselves sometimes like that in life, church. We find ourselves in these situations where it feels like there's just a wall so big, it's impossible. I'm not getting out of this situation. This wall is too big. There's no way out. There's no way over this situation. There's no way through this situation, and we feel hopeless. But here's my news for you today. God will make a way when there seems to be no way. God will make a way when there seems to be no way. This place had double and triple layers of wall. It had guard towers on top. Moats were on the inside. Moats were on the outside. God will make a way, though, when there seems to be no way. Babylon, this was around for 70 years, and they were finally overtaken by the Persians. On the night of the Persian takeover, several things had to happen. Some could call it a coincidence. I think God was in full control of the situation. On the night that Persia invaded into Babylon, remember we got all these walls, multiple layers. Well, there just happened to be a big party that night in Babylon. And the guys that are normally up on the watchtowers, let's just say some things have been around forever and they're a little tipsy, okay? So the watchtowers weren't being watched like they normally would, but there was really no fear because they got walls and then another wall and then another wall, and they got moats, and all of this stuff is protecting them, okay? So that's the night that they're kind of a little bit tipsy, and by chance, history tells us this, they left some of the interior gates open, which weren't normally open. That happened on that night. On that night, we're going to learn a lot about this guy today. A guy by the name of King Cyrus from Persia invaded into this place. But now, once again, this wall, there's no way over it. There's no way through it. But God will make a way where there doesn't seem to be a way. One of the greatest military strategies of all time what happened that night. Some of y'all may already know this story. What King Cyrus did, the Euphrates River fed into, it was the water supply for Babylon. It came in there. Matter of fact, it went right through the middle, and Babylon had this incredible canal system. I'm thinking almost like a Venice in our day, you know. They transported people, taxis across the city all over with the canal and with the river and everything. But the Euphrates came under the walls, and it was the water supply for the whole city. Great strategy here. King Cyrus had his soldiers to build a dam and to reroute the water into a reservoir. Now, modern day, y'all may do this too. When I look at like ancient Egypt and I look at those pyramids and I look at some of these structures, how did they do that? How did they do this? You know, how did they, with a shovel, you know, that'd take a long time, but with God's help, they did it. And so they rerouted the water. It was a great strategy because they couldn't go over the wall. They couldn't go through the wall, but now because the water had been rerouted, the water level came down. Guess where they could go? They could go under the wall. God will make a way where there doesn't seem to be a way. So they go under this wall on the same night that there's a big party. A lot of people are tipsy, and they get to go in. So God will make a way where there seems to be no way. Now, we'll set this up one more time, then we're going to get into the message today. This is where God's chosen people are. They're in this impossible situation. We can't get out, and nobody's going to be able to come in here and get us out. 3 ways, though, that God will make a way where there seems to be no way. Number 1 is God stays true to His Word. God will always stay true to His Word. Now, that's going to be really good news for us at times because there's a lot of verses in the Bible where we go, that's incredible. I'm so glad that God is going to rescue me. But sometimes God stays true to his word because he keeps a promise that he said he's going to do, and sometimes it's not something we may like. Amen, church? Okay, be listening. All right. Book of Leviticus. There's a fun one. I love the book of Leviticus, by the way, because it's got so much in it. Look, book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 3. 6 years you shall sow your field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and gather in its crops. But during the 7th year the land shall have a Sabbath rest, a Sabbath to the Lord. You shall not sow your field nor prune your vineyard. So basically here we see that God's put out for them, I want you to do your crops, plant for 6 years, but on that 7th year, give it a rest. By the way, I looked this up. I've told y'all before, Shannon and I can kill a silk plant. We just are not that good at it. But I looked this up and read on it. This is actually good advice to give the land. Some of y'all that do know how to grow, I think now they rotate crops. Like farmers will rotate. They'll plant one thing here 1 year and they kind of rotate it around. So it's the same concept, though, of giving the land time to get refertilized, and just whatever it does, it just gives it that rest. So God was giving them good advice. Store up for 6 years. On that 7th year, let the land rest and give it that time. So that was God's instructions. God's going to stay true to his word. Now, 1096 BC, I'm going to throw a few dates out to you. 1096 BC, the people asked the prophet Samuel, they want a king. So they're crying out, we need a king around here. So this is 1096 BC. 606 BC is when Babylon invaded Jerusalem, and that's when the exile began. So 1096, 606. I did the math for you. That's 490 years from the time they wanted a king to the time that they were invaded. 490 years. In those 490 years, they did not give the 7th year a Sabbath rest. So that means 490 divided by 7. Any math whizzes out there? That's 70. Guess how long the exile was? 70 years. God stays true to his word. God said this land needs to rest. And so the land is going to get its rest. Look at Leviticus chapter 26. In case you think, hey, Kevin, you're making this up. Look at Leviticus 26, verse 33. You, however, I will scatter among the nations and will draw out a sword after you as your land becomes desolate and your cities become waste. Then the land will enjoy its Sabbaths, all the days of the desolation while you are in your enemy's land. He tells them this is going to happen. Then the land will rest and enjoy its Sabbaths. All the days of its desolation I will observe the rest, which it did not observe on your Sabbaths while you were living on it. God stays true to his word. So God gives us, even today, God gives us these things for us to do. And he gives us these commands for us, and they're for our good. This was for their good. But they didn't do it. And so 70 years, Jerusalem was burned down and set empty. And it rested. But the good news is, they're going to get to come back. Jeremiah chapter 29, we read this last week. Jeremiah 29:10. For thus saith the Lord, when 70 years have been completed for Babylon, I will visit you and fulfill my good word to you to bring you back to this place. God told them it's going to take 70 years. 70 years, the land had to sit. God stays true to his word. One more. Isaiah chapter 45. You're going to love, this one's incredible. Isaiah chapter 45, starting in verse 1. This is incredible. Thus saith the Lord to Cyrus, his anointed, whom I have taken by the right hand to subdue nations before him and to loose the loins of kings, to open doors before him so that gates will not be shut. I will go before you and make the rough places smooth. I will shatter the doors of bronze and cut through their iron bars. I will give you the treasures of darkness and hidden wealth of secret places, so that you may know that it is I, the Lord, the God of Israel, who calls you by your name. Talking to Cyrus. For the sake of Jacob, my servant, and Israel, my chosen one, I have also called you by your name and have given you a title of honor, though you have not known me. So Isaiah the prophet has said, he says here, this man named Cyrus, he's the anointed. He's the one that God is going to use. And God is going to pave the way for Cyrus. He's going to make this where you can lead the way, Cyrus, to bring my people back to Jerusalem. Here's the cool thing. This was 150 years before Cyrus was born. That's prophecy, y'all. By the way, the Bible is full of prophecy. Many of those have been fulfilled. Some of them have not been yet. But the ones that have been fulfilled, you know the accuracy rate? It's 100%. But imagine, because Daniel got to share this Isaiah prophecy, Daniel got to share this with Cyrus once he was alive. Imagine Cyrus going, okay, yeah, all right, I'm going to conquer the world. And by the way, he did. Cyrus is one of the greatest leaders of all time. A man by the name of Cyrus is going to do this, and this was 150 years prior to him coming on the scene. Ezra chapter 1. We're getting to Ezra. Y'all glad? I am. We're in Ezra now. Ezra chapter 1, verse 1. Now, in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, here he is, 150 years later, in order to fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, who had prophesied the 70, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, so that he sent a proclamation throughout all of his kingdom and also put it in writing, saying, Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth. He was listening, and he has appointed me to build him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Isn't that awesome? That Cyrus was given this message all these 150 years ago. He hears this message through Daniel and through Jeremiah, and he hears this message that God has given me all this stuff, all these kingdoms, and he's appointed me to build him a house in Jerusalem. So God stays true to his word. Number 2, God stirs hearts. God stirs hearts. Look at verse 5 in Ezra with me. He stirs the hearts of those who are followers of him. He stirs the hearts of the believers. Church, he stirs the hearts of the Christians, okay, in our context. Ezra 1:5. Then the heads of fathers' households of Judah and Benjamin and the priests and the Levites arose, even everyone whose spirit God had stirred to go up and rebuild the house of the Lord, which is in Jerusalem. God stirred the hearts of the priests and the Levites. Listen, when God is ready to move, when God is ready to do something, he'll stir the hearts of his people. He will stir the hearts of his people. The time was coming, and the time was then. The 70 years was over, and it was time to go back to Jerusalem. And so God started stirring in a heart, and a heart, and a heart, and a heart. And he stirred them to go back to Jerusalem. Listen, it still happens in our context today. One of the things we've been talking about a lot here in the hallways and from the pulpit and all this kind of stuff is the focus we've got to have, church, is prayer. God said, my house will be called a house of prayer. Prayer, 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 prayer. For many reasons, but because of this, I would say is one of the primary reasons, because we know that God is the one that stirs in hearts. Listen, we can have the lights just right, and we can have the music just right, and we can create the mood, and we can do all kinds of stuff, but God's the one that stirs in hearts. God's the one that draws people to himself. God's the one that initiates Christians to step up and to lead. God's the one that leads somebody who's not a believer to say, something's happening. Something's happening inside of me. Back in the day, back growing up, we used to call it a tug at the heart. A tug at the heart. And by golly, when I was a kid, if that didn't exactly what happened, that's exactly what happened. I walked an aisle at 9 years old. Now, I've told you all this story before, but I don't know if I told you this story. At 5 years old, I remember sitting in a Sunday school class of some type. This was the Hillcrest Baptist Church in Pensacola. They've built 4 or 5 sanctuaries since this day. If you've ever been over there, it's a big old church, all right? But back then, when I was a kid there, it was kind of like our situation. We had like the one white building kind of thing. I was a little kid, 5 years old, sitting in that room. I don't remember the teacher. I don't remember any of the other kids. I don't remember what the lesson was. I don't remember anything else. But I do remember vividly as a 5-year-old sitting in a room and something happening inside of me. I can't tell you what. I can't tell you I gave my life to Christ that day. I don't know. But I know that the Spirit of God spoke to me at 5 years old inside of a room at Hillcrest Baptist Church. God stirs hearts. God stirs hearts. And so that's why we pray, church. That's why we pray. Our primary means of growing this church is prayer. God will stir hearts. God will bring people. There's people, I keep saying it, but there's people within a mile of here who desperately need to be here. And God will stir their hearts. Like, we got to go out and we get them. I mean, we got to pull people in. But I really do believe that there can come a day where people are going to be drawn to us because God is stirring their heart. We've got a lot to do around here, there's a lot of building stuff to do around here. We've got some buildings that are old, okay? We pray because God is going to stir the hearts of people to give. By the way, Cyrus wasn't a believer. He wasn't a believer, right? But God stirred his heart, okay? We're going to get to him just here in just a second. But our finances, our church growth, all of that, church, our healing as a church is through prayer. Because God works in the hearts. Only God can work in hearts. Are you with me? Amen. God stirs hearts. So he does that of those who follow him, but he also does that for those who aren't necessarily a follower of his. Go back to verse 1, Ezra chapter 1, verse 1. We're talking about Cyrus. The first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, in order to fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia. Now remember, he's already heard these prophecies from 150 years ago. But God stirred his spirit and said, this is the time. So he sent a proclamation throughout all his kingdom and also put it in writing, saying, thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth. He's appointed me to build him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judah. So he stirred the heart of Cyrus here. And at first reading, you know, as we read these verses, you may hear that and think that this guy is a follower. I mean, his words there. The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms. He's appointed me. I mean, you would think that this guy's a believer, but he wasn't. This wasn't one of the chosen nations. Cyrus was not on the God team, so to speak, okay? He was trying to build a worldwide kingdom, which, by the way, he did. Cyrus, those that study him, that he was one of the greatest leaders of all time. The Persian Empire, which started right here, well, it already kind of started a little bit, but lasted about 1,200 years. And the difference in Cyrus and maybe in the past is kind of the past strategy was to overcome by force and just take over. Cyrus kind of came in with almost like a modern-day America kind of concept. Like, we can all get along, you know? Like, and so that's why he's sympathetic. Like, okay, nation of Israel, go back to your homeland and build. He was sympathetic, and it worked, you know, because, like, they had their thing, but then he also did it for others. Oh, yeah, you can have your God, too. That's fine, you know? So everybody can have their own thing, and it kind of worked for him. He is one of the greatest leaders of all time, but he wasn't on the God team, so to speak. But God stirred his heart. Listen, church, do you realize that God can use people who aren't even Christians for his purposes? You realize that God could finance some of the cleanup we have around here with the devil's money? I mean, with other people. God may stir the hearts of other people we aren't expecting. Amen? God can use believers, yes, and he does stir the hearts of believers. But he can also stir the hearts of those we might least expect it. Side note, I want you to think about this. Like, elections are important. They have consequences. You know, I encourage you to vote and to vote your morals when we go to the election polls. By the way, not just the presidential. That one gets all the publicity, but I think we all learned during COVID and other things that local elections are really important, okay? So vote, vote, vote. They have consequences, but I want you to understand this, that even when we vote, and if things don't necessarily come out the way that we want them to on election day or the day after that, God's still in control, because God can stir the hearts of anybody. God can stir the hearts of a non-believer who happens to be in a position of authority like he did Cyrus here. So as believers, yes, we have an earthly king that we vote for, elected officials that we vote for, but church, our king is the one and the only true king. The kingdom of God is our king. And our king, unlike any other earthly king, our king is in the business of stirring hearts. And he can stir the hearts of his people and even other people. God can direct everything in this world. So I think it's good for us to remember that. God's in charge. God is in control. Even when we don't necessarily see it. Even when the walls are built around, God will make a way where there doesn't seem that there is any way. So with elections, we don't need to worry. We don't need to worry because God is still in control no matter what. God stays true to his word. God stirs the hearts. And lastly, God supplies all the needs. God supplies all the needs. Look at verse 3 through 4. Ezra chapter 1. Whoever there is among you of all his people, may his God be with him. Let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and rebuild the house of the Lord, the God of Israel. He is the God who is in Jerusalem. Every survivor, at whatever place he may live, let the men of that place support him with silver and gold, with goods and cattle, together with a free will offering for the house of God which is in Jerusalem. Skip down to verse 6. All those about them encouraged them with articles of silver, with gold, with goods, with cattle, and with valuables aside from all that was given as a free will offering. A lot of these people didn't make the journey back to Jerusalem, but about 50,000 people did make the journey back to Jerusalem. So a lot of these weren't going, but they were able to help fund it. They had a lot of stuff in Babylon. They've been there 70 years, so they had finances and stuff, but this is about a 900-mile trek to get back to Jerusalem. They didn't have like SUVs and all, right? This is a long journey ahead for them to get there. But once again, Cyrus, not a believer, not a follower, comes and makes this decree. And so all the other people, the other chosen people from that nation, they supply them with gold and with silver and with cattle and with goods and to help them on that journey. And then also to when they get back, to go back into Jerusalem. Remember, they're going back to this place that's been burned to the ground and hasn't been there in 70 years. Even in our modern day culture, after 70 years, there's mold. I mean, there's just stuff. Like there's animal. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. That's what they're going back to. But God supplied their needs for the journey and even to get back. Because you got to think about that, going back to a burned down city with nothing. They got to have stuff, right? God supplied their needs. God supplied all of their needs. But he also doesn't just do it for those that follow him. He does it from those that aren't necessarily followers. Kind of the same concept again here. Look at, I love this part. Look at verse 7 with me. 7 through 11. It says, also King Cyrus brought out I love this. Also King Cyrus brought out the articles of the house of the Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar had carried away from Jerusalem and put in the house of his gods. And Cyrus, king of Persia, had them brought out by the hand of Mithridates, the treasurer, and he counted them out to Sheshbazzar, the prince of Judah. Now this was their number, 30 gold dishes, 1,000 silver dishes, duplicates, I don't know what that is, 30 gold bowls, 410 silver bowls of a second kind, and 1,000 other articles. All the articles of gold and silver numbered 5,400. Sheshbazzar brought them all up with the exiles who went up from Babylon to Jerusalem. I love this part. They had all this stuff that when they were taken captive 70 years ago, all of their goods, all of their gold, all of their silver, all of their possessions, all the valuables were taken under control by Nebuchadnezzar, and they were stored away, and they were put away for 70 years. Listen, when they went back to Jerusalem, they were given it all back. All of it back. I want you to know that you may feel like you're in that wall right now, and it feels so hopeless and helpless, and sometimes it's so easy for us to look back to the past and go, I had it so good back then. Everything seemed right back then, and so much has been taken from me. I want you to understand that God can restore all of it and even more. That is a biblical principle. The prophet Joel said that he can give us back what the locust has devoured. Isaiah says that beauty can come up from the ashes, that beauty can be restored from the ashes. Think about that. It's burned down. That's what Jerusalem did, by the way. And beauty came back up from it. God can restore. God will supply all of our needs, church. By the way, we got a lot of needs around here. How we're going to get there is we're going to pray. Because our Father, you've heard it, He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, right? We got to put a new roof on D. I'm off note. We're going to put a new roof on D building at some point. We got a lot of physical stuff to do around here. We need to do some publicity. We need to let the neighborhood know we're here. We got stuff to do. But you know who's going to supply all of that? He is. God's going to stir the hearts of some of us in this room and also people who aren't in this room. Listen, notes here, but listen. I got a vision, and I know some of y'all do too for this church, but it's bigger. Like, it's for this neighborhood. Like, I really believe it's bigger than us. Like, God wants to change this neighborhood, this community, and it spreads out, and then it changes the nation. But it can start right here. And God is the one that will stir the hearts of those. There are people out there, there are dreamers and builders that can see it, that go, yes, this neighborhood can change. It needs changing, right? It needs cleaning up. Amen. Amen. And God can do it. God will stay true to His word. God will stir the hearts, and then God will supply all their needs. There's a song we sing it a few times up here. It says He turns graves into gardens. He turns graves into gardens. And I think sometimes it's so easy for us as Christians and as just human beings, honestly. We have graves and we have gardens, and it's so easy for us to just stare at the grave side and go, this is where we are. Everything's dead. Everything's not full of life, and it's bad. And I think sometimes we just have, it's simple. It's as simple as turning from the grave and looking at the garden. And maybe that looking at the garden, maybe it's more of a vision at this point. Maybe it's more of a dream at this point. But the reality is it's looking at God and saying, God, you turn graves into gardens. And you'll supply the needs and you'll stir the hearts to get us there. So God, I'm choosing today to not focus on the graves of the past. And I'm choosing today to look at the gardens of the future. Are you with me? I'm off notes, but this is, I believe God, He'll stir the hearts of His people. God wants to restore, church. This series is called Reset and Rebuild. Reset and rebuild. We reset first, and then we start rebuilding. We start rebuilding, but we don't do it our way. We do it His way. So God, you show us. You stir our hearts for your direction. Not Kevin's, not yours, His direction. Can I just say this? We have got a blank canvas right now in this church. I mean, if there's ever been one, I think I've told this to people, it's like we've got a blank piece of paper that said, what does the future look like for Wright Baptist Church? We've got a piece of paper to go, God, all right, you tell us. And we can write that script. Because I know a few things that are definitely going on the script, and that's to reach people, and that's to change this community. I know that for sure. But then the how part of that is he's a creative God. Very creative. So God can restore everything. He can supply all of our needs. He will stir hearts. The message is simple today, church. It was a wall. There didn't seem to be any way out of it. And sometimes we feel like we're in those situations in life, even as individuals. You feel like, I don't get it. I don't see how it's going to. But man, God will make a way where there doesn't seem to be any way. He'll make a way. And He'll supply all our needs in the process. So we'll cut it a little bit short today because we're going to have time for Lord's Supper today. But here's my encouragement to you. Don't give up. No matter where you are in your journey, and you may feel like this wall, Kevin, you don't understand. Look, it's an 80-foot thick wall, and you don't understand. It's horrible. I promise you, God will make a way where you don't see a way. They did not see it coming that they were coming under that wall. They didn't see it coming. God will surprise you and shock you when He shows up. By the way, and this is off notes, but they were in the exile for 70 years because of their own disobedience. Now, our exiles are not always because of our disobedience. Sometimes things happen in life, okay? So not all periods away, desperation times, are because we did something wrong. But I do have to say this to you, lovingly. Sometimes our exiles are our fault. We've wandered off the path. Disobedience has consequences. Amen? Okay. Amen. Nobody, yeah. Obedience has blessing. Amen. Okay, you can amen that one a lot easier, right? My first question to you today would be, if you feel like you're in one of those periods of your life, it could possibly be you did nothing wrong. And it's just one of those seasons that it's a desert experience and God is using it for a purpose in your life. Learn from it, try to understand, seek Him, try to figure out what He wants you to do in that season. Sometimes it's a training ground, and God puts us there. By the way, Jesus, after Jesus was tempted, you know the first thing that happened to Jesus? The first thing after the dove descended on Jesus and the Holy Spirit came upon Jesus, the very first thing that happened right after that is He was sent out into the wilderness to be tempted. So I want you to know that sometimes God does send us out into these experiences for a purpose, all right? So sometimes it happens, but you have to ask the question, though, if you're in a situation now, you don't see a way out, and it's like, I'm stuck. You have to ask yourself the question, is it because of something in my life? Is there some type of disobedience? And here's the good news. He forgives you just like that. And the turning around part is up to you and to Him. The Holy Spirit will enable you to do the repentance and to turn around. But the good news is that when you do that, you're leading yourself out of this captivity that you're in, right? God loves us. Don't give up. Don't give up. Even if you feel like you're in exile today. So I'm going to ask Marcus if you would come on up here to the front. We're going to do the invitation time. This invitation time, I have said this before, but I want to make sure that we understand this is an important part of the service. This is the time where we respond to what God is speaking to us. That's this particular part of the service. So it may be today that the altar's open. You can come talk to Marcus and pray with him, but you could just maybe want to come to the altar. I want you to know that it's open here for prayer. I want us to know that this altar is open for business. This is a house of prayer, and we are going to seek God to stir hearts of us, but also the community, and to supply the needs that we need for all the stuff that needs to be done around here. God, He's going to do it, y'all. He is going to do it. I mean, this is not pie in the sky, Kevin. He's going to do it. I'm telling you. And we got to pray for it and say, God, we're open to what you have to say. So this altar is open, but here's the other part. It all starts with a relationship with Jesus Christ. It all starts there. I did it at 9 years old. Now, I will tell you, at 9 years old, I knew about as much as a 9-year-old can know as far as the world goes. You know, I wasn't like on drugs or, or drinking alcohol. I wasn't in worldly stuff, as much as a 9-year-old, but I understood it. Even after 9 years old, Kevin had some journeys where he went in different directions, and I had to come back to Jesus myself. Nothing hard. I didn't do prison time, but I did some stuff, But I think we all have those times where we have to turn around and come back. So maybe some of you in the room like that today, there's a time where you just got to say, I need to renew. I need to come back. I need to come back home. But for those of you that have never taken that first step, Jesus Christ loves you. He is the one person in all of eternity. He's the only person that was two things at one time. He was fully God and He was fully human being. That's why He's important. He's the only one that's ever done that. He is the mediator between God and man because He's the gap between those two, because He was us and He was Him. He was both. He's the only one that's ever done that. So people go, why Jesus? That's the reason. We got to have somebody that knows the Father and knows us. And He, on the cross, paid the penalty for everybody's sins for all time. That's the first step, is admitting you are a sinner. And God, Jesus, I need that forgiveness that only you can offer, because you were fully God and you were fully human being. If God's tugging at your heart today, talk to this man right here and let him talk to you. And I'll say one last thing before we sing this last song and do this invitation. At the end, we're going to do Lord's Supper today, so a little bit different, but in any normal Sunday service, I want you to know that we can end a service and you don't have to quit praying. We're actually developing a prayer team right now that it may be, let me just tell you this. So back in the day, I did kind of what Marcus is doing. We had several ministers stood up front, and I would be up and we'd have this invitation time. We're singing a hymn. We're on the third stanza. Somebody walks down the aisle. They get to the front. They grab me by the hand, and they say, man, I'm really struggling with my marriage. I'm thinking about ending my marriage, and I'm struggling in life. I don't even know if I want to live. And we've got like half a stanza left of a song. And I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work. That's not enough time. So I want you to know, church, we're working on a prayer system to where if we have those kind of situations, that can be handled even afterwards, maybe over in a prayer room or something. Y'all with me on that? I want you to know that you don't have to stop at the end of the service. If something's going on, maybe you have to go outside and extend that time with somebody. So anybody that is up here, just know that is, y'all understand what I'm saying? That is a possibility, okay? So let me pray for us. You guys stand up. This altar is open this morning. Whatever decision it is that you need to make this morning, let's do that, okay? You guys stand up. Let's pray together.